Are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
You sure you're ready?
I'm so ready.
Let's go.
Podcast. Two guys talking without wearing pants. Pantless. Podcast. You can take our ideas.
Welcome back to the Pantless Podcast. Here's your hosts, Austin and Travis. Take it away. Hey,
What's up?
what's
We're
going
back.
on? Let's kick that off there. We're back
We're
on a
back.
Friday early night after, and it's almost midnight.
It's we're here. We're here. We're alive.
Almost tomorrow.
Yeah. What episode is this? I wasn't even paying attention. Again, I wasn't paying attention. Is this 5? I think we're on 5 or
Yeah.
6. I don't know. I know whatever it is, it's gonna be freaking awesome.
Heck yeah, it is. You guys
Because
probably just saw something flash on my screen. Ignore that.
football stuff happened and
Hey,
video game stuff's happened and
you'll have
we
to tell me
watched
about
another
that.
movie.
I've been out of town most of the week, so if you know anything gaming, I haven't heard anything.
Oh yeah, I've got some terrible news that I'm sure I can't believe you haven't heard yet, but okay.
I
So
saw a inkling rumor, but none of the. I've been ignoring everything this week, so somebody's
okay.
probably talked about it, and I just haven't seen it. I think I know what you're talking about. You want to jump into that? How you been doing?
Man, it's been fantastic. I haven't seen you in a week, so
I've
it's been a little rough in that sense.
I can
But other than
imagine,
trying to get over that, we've been doing pretty good.
man.
How
We
have you been doing?
doing great. We've been doing a lot of travel
All right,
over the last few days. We drove to Branson, Missouri, Wednesday.
fun.
Drove in the heaviest rain and just the sketchiest turnpike travel I've ever done in my life. Up
Yeah.
there. Spent all day in Silver Dollar City. Drove home late that night in even heavier rain. Second sketchiest rain, but it was dark this time, so,
Ooh.
got up that next morning, because we got home about 11:30 that night.
Hmm.
Got up about 7:30 next morning and drove to Arkansas.
All right.
In more rain.
And you didn't get taken away by naders.
No.
That's good. That's
Spent all
good.
day in a craft show up in Arkansas. And it sucks, because I love driving through Arkansas. It's actually a very beautiful country about this time of year. No, foggy, rainy, couldn't see hardly any of the countryside, so it was like, boo. Very, very boring drive because rain. So,
Because of rain.
but got to
Rain.
rest and relax today and still didn't get hardly anything accomplished.
Feel that. Here to
So,
that. Here to that.
so, but some
What?
interest. You know what? Hit us with that gaming news. How about
That
that?
gaming news, they announced the expansion pass for Nintendo Switch Online,
Oh, for the new
and yeah,
50?
it's good. It's gonna be like an extra $45 for family online people a year. Extra, so it's more
So
than double.
it was
Or
35 for the family, right?
right
How much is the family total now?
now, it's 70 total.
Okay,
I think.
so just the single is
Wait, no, that would make it 30. Whatever. I thought it was $45 extra for the family plan. Now, if you just had the regular online membership, you could get the expansion for I think 30. It's an extra 30, but it's an extra 45 if you have the family subscription.
okay. I'm pulling it up now to see if I can get the.
And they're throwing in some Animal Crossing DLC in
But
addition to the N64 and the Sega retro games.
so it looks
I
like
don't know if I can. I don't know if I can justify that. I don't think I can.
so it's
It,
40. It's $49.99 for an individual membership and $79.99 for a family membership. But that's for 12 months. You got to
yeah,
realize that's still cheap. We were paying 20 for a year.
right.
Now we're paying 50 for a year. If I'm not mistaken, uh, Xbox 360
Well, Game Pass is more expensive than that.
three
I mean,
for or let's go Xbox One Gold membership. Don't even do the Game Pass.
right,
But Gold membership back on the Xbox One was $60 a year.
right. No, you're not wrong.
So
It's definitely competitive,
I
but
paid,
from a standpoint, with the fact that they only have like six or eight N64 games, and then
the Genesis.
a handful of Genesis games, is it?
I'm
just
gonna
don't
get
know.
it. I want
don't
to
know.
play the Genesis games.
You're gonna have to show me. You're gonna have to show me you having a whole lot of fun. That I'm gonna be like, I've got to get in on this. I can't be on the outside anymore
So you don't get
because that's the only way. The only way I'm gonna do it.
you don't get the Animal Crossing DLC unless you buy the $50 DLC, right? Or $50 expansion pack, right? Is that what it's saying?
Right. It's part. It's like we were thinking. Oh, you're gonna get N64 and Genesis games, but that's just an add-on. That's a bonus. You get that too.
If you want to buy the Animal Crossing DLC, if you want to buy the DLC by itself, it will be available for $24.99 on October 5th. So it's paid DLC for Animal Crossing that you can either get with the online service or buy separately. That's not bad. So
If you're into it,
you can still.
it broke my heart. It broke my heart. I'm just gonna say.
I expected this, but I'm gonna probably still get it. So,
Well,
other than that, I
fancy, fine.
started playing a new game today.
Ooh, man, you're just going through those games.
This is one I've been looking at for a while.
Mm-hmm. Is this which one is this?
This is a PC game called Axis Football 2022.
Oh, okay. Axis
2021.
football. What's Axis football?
It's been a small development team that's been making football games since like 2015, 2016. They make a game every year. It's not licensed by the NFL or by the NCAA. It's a non-licensed American football game. This game they've added some NFL rule sets, and you can play the NFL seasons, but they're all fantasy teams and fantasy players. There's no real stuff.
Are they like cheap knockoffs? Like
I think.
like it'll be like the Washington D.C.'s football team and
Well, I think
the Arlington Cowboys and.
I want to say it was the Washington Senators were in there. The Kansas City was in there as like the Ropers or something like that, and you got the Oklahoma City Cyclone.
All right.
I think there's
Oklahoma City's repping. Okay.
the Dallas Longhorns or something like that, or the San Francisco Sharks. They've got like 30, 35 teams. Because I created the Washington Red Wolves
Mm-hmm.
to replace the Washington team, and then I created my own team that I'm playing as, and you could do a European tier system schedule, which that's what I'm running. The gameplay is wonky, so I don't play many of the games. I simulate most of the games and do like a manager coach role thing.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, I've had fun with it. Trying to manage rosters and manage money. It's alright. Not for everyone. It's a rough game.
Yeah.
But
I've just been playing Pokemon Unite still. They keep me hooked. They keep bringing out these events saying, oh, accomplish this task and you'll get this little bitty reward. And it sucks me in every time. I know. Oh, I want it so bad.
I played about an hour of it when I first got it.
Oh, wait, you're probably over this way.
Yeah, I'm over here. Oh, it disappeared.
Can I grab it? Wouldn't it be so cool if I pulled it out and I was holding it now? Oh, that'd be epic.
But it's a blast. It's hard. It is hard, and I suck at platformers.
hmm
I need to get back into it. I've got one more episode I need to edit because I recorded twice in one sitting.
hmm
I'm not talking through it at all. I'm just gonna be you just hear the game.
All right.
So, because I don't think I have the concentration to play this game and try to narrate through it.
Right.
So, I need
Oh.
need to get on it. Fantasy football.
Fantasy freaking
So,
football.
so, I got home last night, around 8 o'clock last night, and I noticed that Kinley dropped. Let me get his name right. Oh, I don't have him on my roster yet. Kyle Pitts, the rookie tight end for Atlanta. They're like first round draft pick. He's like a top three or four tight end in the league.
Really?
He's on
Even
do
like
I-
above. It said top 3.
He's at least top 5. He's one of the better tight.
Interesting.
Maybe not for fantasy, but he was that flipping awesome tight end coming out of college. He's the 5th overall tight end.
Dave got him.
For now, until this morning.
Oh, I did. I saw that you guys.
We traded.
You traded.
Well,
You traded him that Heineke guy or Heineke.
Taylor Heineke. I'm surprised he took that trade. So it was like 7 or 8 o'clock. I saw that he was available for waivers. She dropped him because he's on bye week this week.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I'm like, I wanted to message everybody and be like, hey, look what I did. But I was at the very bottom of the waiver because I think I picked up three players off waivers at the beginning of the week. So I was number 12 in the waivers. So I'm like, hopefully nobody saw this and I could squeak in and get him, and Dave got him. Dave's like, send me a trade offer. He wanted Mahomes. And I was like, no, you can't have Mahomes. That's not happening. And he's like, I'm like, I see you need a quarterback. You want Heineke? He's like, yeah, I'll take him. I offered him the trade, Heineke for Pitts, and he took it.
Nice.
I'm like, okay, that works for me. I mean, I really
Yeah.
I don't need Heineke right now. I was only holding on to him to start him when Mahomes is on bye week. Dave was struggling. Oh no, that's Mark. David was struggling for quarterbacks. He's got Daniel Jones
Who?
and Trey Lance.
Who? Who?
Daniel Jones. Well, he says he's healthy now. He must have passed all the concussion protocols. He was actually possibly going to miss this weekend.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good tight ends. He's got he's got most of the good tight ends. Like
He's got some solid tight ends.
solid, the best. So
Nice.
my two wide receivers that played Thursday, they were supposed to be averaging, projected to score 11 and 9 points, scored 2.7 and 3.1.
Ew.
Just crushed it. Made me sad. But since I have him on my roster, I got some insider news from a YouTube from a pop-up YouTube video. I went ahead and picked up T.Y. Hilton back up after he was on my IR and I dropped him. I heard he may start this weekend.
Nice.
He might. I'm not going to start him this weekend.
but he might start this weekend.
he'll be on the field starting this weekend, and I can start him next weekend. And he's a top receiver. So, we'll see. Let's see if my Dolphins defense can actually do something against Jacksonville. But how's your team looking?
Looking solid, man. It's still strong.
I don't even know who all you have.
Still strong. I've been putting up some major points this last few weeks.
Ooh, that
and I'm
hurts.
not looking like it's going to slow down. As long as Zeke plays, he's questionable right now, and I've been keeping an eye on him. But everybody's like, "Oh, he's going to play. He's going to play." And that's usually when I get screwed. Is when I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's going to play," and then he doesn't play. But he's been on a tear.
Why did you pick up Logan Thomas?
Because you would want him, and he'll trade me eventually
He's
for
on
him.
IR, and he may miss the whole season.
Nah, he'll be back at week 8.
I don't want him. He's actually not been.
Yeah, for a tight end, he's been
No,
doing pretty good.
Why don't you throw him down in your IR slot and pick up somebody else?
I can, but I just like to flex. I don't really need anybody else right now.
Yeah, McLaurin's really not been.
Oh yeah, he's one. I haven't even started him. He's just on my bench, just hanging out.
As much as I like him, I don't actually. Wide receiver is not my spot. Really,
I wouldn't mind having a bench full of just Washington players just sitting there, just so you can see that I'm just not starting them.
Because they're all garbage right now. Because Washington's horrible. We'll be lucky to win any more game. We may not win another game this year.
Maybe not.
Because
Maybe not.
I think the fans are going to boycott going to the stadium. Oh, look, they messed up some stuff this week, and everybody's mad. I don't know if you heard about the big news that's been coming out.
I don't think so.
Well, you heard about John Gruden getting fired, right?
Yeah, I heard he got fired.
Well, did you hear what came out with all that?
No.
That Washington's ex-president, Bruce Allen, was the one that he was sharing these emails with.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And our current president, Jason Wright, in trying to, get ahead of this and try to placate it, they announced that they're going to do a ceremony this weekend against Kansas City. They're retiring Sean Taylor's number 21. In a special ceremony that had been planned since the beginning of the year. They announced this late Thursday.
Oh, that sucks. So now they're going to be
like nobody's there. Like a lot of season ticket holders sold their tickets. A lot of people, like, this is something that a lot of people wanted to be at the stadium to see. None of that, like, people are mad. So
interesting.
And we're just garbage this year for some reason. Garbage. So, meh. You can have all those crappy Washington players.
I'm gonna take him just in case. You never know. You never know.
You know,
Well, go ahead,
any other football news you know about?
I don't think so.
Man, this is.
I think so. We had. Did you see the? I guess you saw the crazy collegeness. Number 1 team in the country went down to an unranked team. Alabama.
Oh no, that was last weekend. Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Went down.
There were some fairly good size upsets in college football this past weekend.
Some good ones. So
Oregon and
it's
Cal
still shaping
right
up. Now. Oh yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Oregon take another L.
So who all dropped last weekend? I didn't realize Coastal Carolina was ranked 15th. Odd. Yeah, Cincinnati beat Notre Dame.
Yeah. That really wasn't an upset.
God, Oklahoma should have lost to Texas.
No, Oklahoma should not have lost to Texas.
Texas had them down and out and should have had them beat. Big,
Texas did. That is true. They did have them down and out.
big college news actually. That what's that OU quarterback that stinks that's never lost?
Rattler.
He's declaring to go somewhere else. He's maybe entering the transfer portal.
Is he? That's
I
funny.
heard.
I've seen all the memes of like him in a TU uniform, like his TU's next quarterback.
Are we taking?
Well, heck, he's a stud. I just think he let all of the hype go to his head.
Well, he's already
he's been
a lot of money.
Oh yeah, he's been famous since he was in high school. Then he goes to OU. Then he was deemed to be basically the shoo-in for the Heisman. He's getting all these endorsement deals. He's making money.
I guess Williams.
Now it's just a sputter.
I guess Williams, which is the quarterback that's bailed OU out of a couple games, was
Out of that last one for sure.
Was seen taking first team reps in practice during the week.
I heard about that. They said some students basically leaked it because they realized that they could go up into the journalist building. And the guy from work was telling me, and then they were looking down to see who was starting or who was practicing with the ones, and saw that it was Caleb.
Yeah, I saw that.
You guys ruin you want to keep that under wraps. You don't want to let your enemies know who you're starting. Keep them on edge. Make them practice for two different quarterbacks. Now they can just focus on one.
Boise State beat BYU. BYU is ranked 10th. Arkansas dropped another game, lost 52-51 to Ole Miss.
Did you see that one? Did you watch that one?
I didn't watch any games. I don't watch
that one was basically a back and forth, and Ole Miss scored to go up by a touchdown and an extra point with 14 seconds left in the game. Arkansas somehow was able to come down and score. And then they went for the 2-point conversion to just win it outright instead of sending it into overtime. And then they didn't convert.
Boo.
So it was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
So, any good games this weekend? Oklahoma State, Texas. Arkansas gets unranked Auburn, which I guess
Oklahoma State, Texas is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Oklahoma State looks undefeated.
They are undefeated.
Yeah.
That's
just 12th. Could be a good game. Number 1 Georgia gets number 11 Kentucky.
That could be a pretty interesting game. Kentucky has looked pretty decent.
See how Oklahoma does against TCU.
TCU has not looked good this year.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. We watched a movie, man.
We did watch a movie.
Retro movie review.
I was a little disappointed in this one.
Were you? I had forgot all about this movie. I was expecting. I don't know what.
80.
Yeah, it was definitely 80s.
My gosh, the POV camera shots.
Yeah.
That looked like they literally had a guy with a GoPro on his forehead.
Yeah, but they didn't because GoPro was like not even a twinkle in its daddy's eye.
Looked like they just attached an 80s camera to a guy's forehead. And they're like, is there somebody there? Or is this just crappy camera work? What's going on here? I had no idea what was going on most of the movie.
Yep.
I didn't realize that old Kevin Bacon was in this movie.
For a little while, yeah.
Well, no, as soon as he came on screen, I was like, hey, that's Kevin Bacon.
He was so young. Was that his first movie? I meant to look that up.
Doubt that, but...
Because he looked young.
If it wasn't his first, it was pretty close to it. I was looking up some stuff here.
Yeah.
Why do you do this? Why do you have to
There wasn't. I mean, I know we'll get into the common sense rankings, but like, I don't think there was. I don't know. I'm kind of speechless because the violence, it really wasn't that violent, and there was not as much sexy stuff as I thought there was in the movie. And maybe that's just because I haven't seen it since I was 14 years old. But
the way
and like you know,
the way some people were talking was that this movie was just full of it.
yeah. And I was just like, there's not much. There's not much language at all. I was just how is this rated R? Just because, you know, it was weird. Weird. I don't know if it's because it was 1980 and what it did show. Weird.
Yeah, because there was like one light nude scene.
Yep.
I mean, there was a sex scene, but there was only nudity for like that long.
Yep.
And then there was network nipple for throughout. Sorry, that's a joke from a comedian I watch.
Okay. Like, I think I know what you're talking about.
Friends.
Oh, okay.
And that one girl.
Gotcha.
The one girl.
Jennifer Aniston. Yeah.
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 So.
Yeah. Now I know exactly where you're going with that. Okay. That's what I was thinking you were going. Okay.
So, yeah, Metacritic.
I think the critics, I think they gave this movie a 70. I think it would have been lower, but I'm going to give it a little boost because it's so iconic.
Are you ready to be disappointed?
Okay.
11 critics gave it a whole whopping 22.
Wow. That is so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
224 users.
Oh man, the users had to love it. It's got to be an 80. Come on.
It's out of 10.
Or an 8, an 8.0.
5.9.
Huh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This movie was so 80s. It was. There wasn't much good. Like, the slasher graphics, like the throat cutting and the way old Kevin Bacon died with, like, that.
Yeah, the arrow.
Yeah, coming up through his chest as he's laying in that bed. But then there was the girl that dies to the axe. And, like, she's there, she's like, you see this axe swing. Off screen, it hits, and then it shows it buried in her face.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. She was basically swinging hard enough for it to, like, bounce off her face. But when she was laying there, it was like, you know, halfway through her face. Like, they weren't swinging that hard.
Like, they spent all their budget on the Kevin Bacon death scene that they didn't have enough to actually show the girl get hit by an axe.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Pretty funny. So we're gonna jump in. I know we've had this dude before, Charles Cassidy Jr.
Name sounds familiar.
He says it's for 18 and older, and he gave it a 2-star. He said it's infamous, sadistic slasher film, has violence and sex. Parents said it's good for 13 and older, 4 stars. And kids gave it the exact same review, 13 and older, 4 stars. So they liked it way better than Charles did. All right. Now we're going to get into the good stuff. Positive messages. Go for it. I personally, I would have said no positive message in this movie.
I think I'm going to agree with you on that one. I'm going to give it a no star.
And Charles, he agrees. He says no positive message, but you can click it. And it says movie centers on misplaced vengeance over the death of a child decades before the action takes place. Positive role models. What do you have here?
I'm gonna give it.
I would also give it a none. Charles said no. He said, "In what is typical for the genre, the nicest and most demure one gets to be the sole survivor. One of the more obnoxious characters finds a Native American headdress and begins
That
to
was
engage in
funny.
stereotypical behavior.
That was
As
funny.
he's doing this, an officious motorcycle cop shows up at Crystal Lake and refers to the teen in the headdress as Tonto and Cochise. I can't remember that.
Jeez. He was a yeah.
But that cop was just ridiculous. Like
The cop was hilarious.
it was just so over the top. Like, and then he was just gone. It was just,
yeah.
what was the purpose of that scene at all? I mean, I guess he was just to introduce the wacky guy, that drunk.
Now,
Or whatever.
hey, to go back to 2 movies ago, if this guy wants to throw a fit about who the main character was, I would agree in this movie, because I don't think like the faceless killer was the main character, and he wasn't even
Right.
on screen. You saw his boots. Oh, and I got a question later.
Her boots.
I guess I don't know.
Did you finish the movie?
I did finish the movie. Yes. Move
Okay.
on. Let's.
Okay. Okay.
I was
all right.
confused this whole movie.
Okay. Violence. I would have given this movie probably a 3.
I'd give it a 4 because there was some, violence. That's a hard one because they're gonna give it a 5.
He did. He gave it a 5.
There really wasn't much violence.
Well, here's what he says. He says, slasher horror movie violence. Characters shown killed or getting killed up close. Sliced in the throat with a knife. Chopped in the forehead with an axe. Speared in the throat. Shot with arrows. Decapitation. In a flashback scene, a young boy is shown from a distance drowning in the middle of the lake while pleading for his mother. Some slapping and punching, and there are jump scares galore. Jump scares galore? I don't know about that one. Was there a jump scare?
The only time I jumped was at the very end whenever Jason popped out of the lake to drag her into the river.
Oh, well, yeah, that was...
Oh, son of a... Whoa.
Yeah.
But it was a... Was it real?
Yeah, or was it just a dream?
But that's the only time I was like, oh my gosh, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. There really weren't any other jumps.
I wouldn't consider any of
there was one where either somebody threw, or maybe I was watching.
Oh, there was the...
Wasn't there something through a window or something?
Yeah, they did throw that one girl through the window at the end. But,
Yeah.
And there also was when the girl was setting up early in the movie, the archery. The Joker put an arrow right beside her.
Yeah.
I could see some people jumping there. But
still, 3 and maybe 4 is hardly galore.
I don't consider half that violence.
Right. But, you know. Like I said, I would have given it a 3. Charles said 5. You gave it a 4. That's where we are. Sex. What do you think about sex?
I would give it maybe a 2 or a 3.
Yeah, I would say... 2.5. I would go with that. I would probably say 3 because there was some boobage.
Look, like
So,
1.
Like, yeah, 1 boobage, and there was, a little bit of a scene. So I would say 3.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't argue with the 2. Charles says 4.
What?
He said some gratuitous sexual content, moaning, and brief female nudity. He used the plural breasts. I don't know.
It was 1.
Buttocks, while showing 2 teen characters having sex. Some female camp counselors tend to walk around in panties and tight t-shirts with no bras. Nipples clearly seen.
Network nipple.
There you go. In flashback, 2 characters on verge of having sex before they're murdered.
How dare they?
Talk about sex, kissing. An obnoxious teen boy pretends to be drowning in Crystal Lake, uses that as a way to kiss one of the girls when she gives him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
I mean, do what you can.
And right. It's funny, silly. I mean, we saw that in Sandlot. And the characters play strip Monopoly, but stop before anyone is naked.
Disappointed.
I'm still curious about that. Like, I want to know how that works. There's got to be some rules.
That game has to end pretty quick.
Yeah, right. But they started with money. Like they were passing out money. So it's like, do you use money to buy the properties, and then you have to like once you land on the property, then you give up your clothes? Is that how it works?
Yeah, how do you actually make money in the game to actually continue on?
Yeah,
I
so
don't.
maybe you just use your money
I don't.
strategically to buy the properties, and once you're out of money, then you're done. But then people can land.
I
I
don't
don't
think the
know.
writers ever intended on anything else. We're coming back to that.
I
So
don't know. Anyway, so that was his reasoning for language. I I don't remember any language at all.
I was,
I would if I had to just go now, I would say not present.
there was a solid GD early.
Was there?
The the gentleman that was in the tanker that was taking the cook girl when the when the crazy man came out, he's like, "Gosh dang it, get out of here!" He,
Oh,
that was it.
yeah.
I would give this a. I would give it a not present. He's gonna give it like a 3.
You wouldn't give it a 1 for the GD? You wouldn't at least give it a 1?
No, no, because it's 80s.
Well, gotcha.
That
Well, we both say not present. Charles, he said 3.
I told you he'd give it a 3 for the GD.
He said there was occasional profanity. There was the S word. I don't remember that one.
I don't know what version he was watching.
He said there was GD. There was pisser. I don't remember that. And then the D word. And I don't remember that either.
Which D word?
Damn.
Oh, I thought you were saying dongle.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't remember that one either.
Dongle. Not that one either, yeah. So, I once again, it was so, from what, I guess maybe my expectations of this movie for all of these categories was way up here, and it just wasn't.
For being an 80s slasher, it was fairly tame.
Yeah. It was very, very. Consumerism. I don't remember it. I would say not present.
Not present.
And not present. Not even clickable. And then drinking, drugs, and smoking. I think there was somebody smoking pot. I think I saw some beer. I would say 2.
I'd give it a 2 or a 3 because Bacon's character was smoking right as he died.
Charles said 3. He said marijuana smoking and beer drinking during a game of strip Monopoly. And then an officious motorcycle cop accuses the camp counselors of being high. They aren't, at least not yet.
There was drinking
Okay,
when they were
Charles.
playing Monopoly. Where was the marijuana smoking?
Well,
Did I miss
Kevin
that?
Bacon. Well, I don't remember it during the game, but I do remember Kevin Bacon. What he was smoking, what looked like marijuana. You know, I'm no officious cop, but
Oh, I thought that was just a cigarette that he was smoking in that bed.
yeah, I don't know. But I don't remember any smoking during that game. But they don't mention the smoking in the bed. I don't know. Who knows?
Huh?
He said 3. So there we go. That was our rankings and Charles's rankings. Pretty different,
Yeah.
but we don't need to really go over what parents need to know because it's basically a summary of everything we just read. He just kind of reiterates his main points as to why he rated everything the way he rated. He still says jump scares throughout. I just no. I'll give you an adult review from March 19th, 2017. Somebody gave it a 5-star for ages 11 and older. And this was Alex H. And he said, "This site's review is ridiculous. This movie is nowhere near as bad as it says. I watched this at 8 and was fine. The 12-year-old rating is because most people were not introduced to horror at the age of 4. Friday the 13th is a must-see for horror fans, particularly if you like slashers." So, he was another person gave it a 2. They said only watch if you're a horror fan. Said if you're not a horror fan, don't bother. Another one that's just basically classic. Basically, that's the reviews. Like, this is just, iconic. It's legendary. It's not that great of a movie, but because of what it did for the genre, if you're into the genre, watch it. If you're not really into the genre, you'll just be like, this is a pretty lame movie. And
Yeah,
I could see that. I could agree with that.
I could see why this just was not good. Like, I can see the second one might be better.
because it's actually Jason. It's the person that you come to know now. When somebody says
So-
Friday the 13th, you think Jason. You think hockey mask.
So my question. So she killed the two at the very beginning.
Uh huh.
Okay, so the cook girl that died in the woods, was that her as well?
Yeah.
But was she driving that Jeep?
Yeah.
But wasn't the Jeep belonging to the guy that was hired all the people?
I think that's just what they wanted you to think, because that
Yeah.
guy's Jeep was already he was already there, and he left with a trailer.
Yeah, he'd already
And her Jeep didn't have a trailer.
So that's two different Jeeps.
Yeah, there were two different blue Jeeps.
That had me confused because for the whole movie I thought he was the killer.
Ah,
And that he
Yeah.
was just gone. But then it showed him in the diner with the coffee. Then he comes
Right.
back and like, as I started figuring some things out whenever he walks up and he goes, "What are you doing here?" Then died dead.
yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, who's killing these people?" I thought I had this figured out. So
It was Mrs. Voorhees the whole time.
then she lost her head.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, she did.
And two
Literally and
guys-
figuratively.
Yeah, and then my other question is, the girl is in that shed and she's got what looks like a 22, or she's got a rifle in her hand,
Yeah.
and she comes through and she's just like, "I'm gonna hit you with it." I'm like, what
Right.
are you doing with your life? So
Yeah.
it was a good movie. It was.
It was a I would go along with these reviewers. If you are into horror movies, watch this one. It started the franchise. It
Sure did.
started, we all know Jason. This didn't have much of Jason. It may have had his first attempted
But-
murder.
Here it is. The movie wasn't named Jason. It was named Friday the
Right.
13th.
Yep.
So this is almost like a setup movie for the next 7 that they make.
Oh, there's way more than 7.
I think they made 6 numbered, and then Jason X, and then Freddy versus Jason. So there's 9 movies total. 7 movies in the actual that are, because I think there's
Canon,
Yeah.
if you could call it canon.
I've watched Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, that was I enjoyed that one. That was
It-
kind of interesting.
If you have Peacock TV, all of them are on Peacock, and that's where we watch this one. Do we want to go back there to watch our next? Do you have a suggestion for next movie?
There's actually 10. Jason X is actually the 10th Jason, or the 10th Friday the 13th movie, and then you have Freddy versus Jason.
Okay. Yeah. Did I count that wrong? Was it?
Was Final Chapter. Number 5 was A New Beginning. Then they had Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, and that was in 1993.
Did I
So these
count
movies
wrong?
went 80, 81, 82, 84, 85, 86, 88, 89, 93, and then Jason X came out 2002. Then Freddy vs. Jason 2003. And then the remake in 2009.
Oh, see,
So there's a bunch. There's a bunch. We wouldn't have time to watch all these.
my bad, because I was looking at them on Peacock, and they don't have part 3 or 4. They only have 7 movies on here.
Interesting.
They don't have all.
I wonder why. I wonder if that was like owned by a different studio or
That's
something.
probably just what they have license for.
That's so weird.
I might jump back in and watch Freddy vs. Jason again.
Yeah.
I might just have to watch the second one just to see if it's any better.
We should probably watch Nightmare on Elm Street if we can find it, and then
Nightmare on
watch
Peacock.
Freddy vs. Jason. They have both. They've got Nightmare on Elm Street and then Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah, they're both on Peacock.
Okay.
Just remember that Freddy vs. Jason is a 2003 movie, so.
Right.
But yeah, it's all on Peacock TV.
We,
And my internet is just decided to take a dump and nothing wants to work all of a sudden.
well, what do we want to? Have we? No, we haven't. We kind of talked about movies. What are we wanting to watch next?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I just keep asking you.
Do we want to go to? I know we had talked about. Do we want to go lighthearted next and do that witchy movie? Do we want to?
Focus?
Yeah, or do we want to go continue on our 80s slashers and go for Nightmare on Elm Street? I would say it should be one of those. We should either go
Yeah, let's do
lighthearted and funny, or we'll keep our slasher going.
You can either do Nightmare on Elm Street. I guess Halloween isn't on here. Yeah, that's right. We couldn't find the Halloween movies.
Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah, because I've never watched Nightmare on Elm Street either. I don't know anything about these movies. So.
Hey, want to dabble? You want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we're doing Nightmare on Elm Street.
All right.
It's on Peacock.
Yep.
It is confirmed. You're looking at it right now.
Yep. I was just looking at it.
Sweet.
So.
All right. Cool. Well, is there anything else? Anything else in the world?
Not that I can think of. If you're listening and you want to watch movies with us, and that's just not your cup of tea and you don't like watching it, watch Hocus Pocus and tell us all about it in the comments.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do it.
So.
All right.
I think that's
cool. Yeah.
I think that's gonna do it for us tonight.
Yep.
This week, Austin's gonna probably should have last week's episode uploaded to audio.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Before
this
is drops in video.
It should happen. It should. You might get a pretty back-to-back when you're listening to this. Last week's episode might have just came out yesterday, depending on when you listen to this. But you're welcome. You're very welcome. So we're not giving you a whole lot of time to watch movies with us. You didn't even know we were watching Friday the 13th. So
yeah.
Sorry for all you podcast people. I totally flubbed it up. I am
if you're tired
I'm just I'm a drooling monster. Yes, if you're tired of me, let us know.
And watch us on. We'll
Yeah.
watch this video. But if you don't like watching, you can still kick on YouTube and listen to us.
Yeah, you can. Especially if you've got the fancy upgraded YouTube where you can, close your app and still listen to it in the background.
Yeah, I don't even have that.
I don't either. Everything's cheap for me, free. But okay, well, I need to get off here. We need to.
All right, man.
It's good bedtime.
So,
good night, everyone, or good morning. I love you all.
See y'all
Especially you.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.